welcome back. Next we will be talking about Stephen King's On Writing. Most of you probably know who Stephen King is, hopefully. But he is a world-renowned author, and he's a very talented man, and he writes about 3 books a year. So, he's definitely a guy to be listening to about writing. Um, so, just as a side note, he was asked how he gets so much writing done every day. And he said that he just sits down at his desk and he writes 6 pages. And it doesn't matter what is on the 6 pages, he can delete it later, as long as there is 6 pages of stuff that he wrote by the end of the day. That's his goal. So, having good, flexible goals is very important. So, there are a couple different parts that I gave you guys. The very first part is one of his first writing jobs, and I wanted to show how someone else edited his writing. So we have on page 56 a nonfiction piece that he wrote with some of his editor's notes on there, which I think is pretty cool. So we see how someone else goes about working with King's work. There's kind of an interlude chapter called What Writing Is. And he just says it's telepathy, of course. Because if I say that there is a wooden table with a red tablecloth and 4 chairs around it, sitting in the middle of the room, each one of us is now going to be thinking about a tablecloth and a table and 4 chairs sitting in the middle of the room. Now, they're not going to be the exact same ones, but now we have similar images in our heads. So that's cool. So there's just a brief chapter called What Writing Is, and it's his point of view on writing. You don't have to read that one in depth, but I just think it's interesting. So, what I'd really like you guys to focus on is chapter nothing. Page 271. So page 271 is, and furthermore, part 1, door shut, door open. And what this gives us is a clean copy of the first draft of one of his short stories, which is one of my favorite short stories of his, called Room 1408. And this is kind of the raw text of it. So we see it in its raw form before he takes a pen to it. And then the next time we see it, we can see that he's written all over it. And not only has he written all over it, but he has, you can see these little numbers. I'm gesturing to them, but you can't see that. There are these numbers besides different paragraphs, and these numbers correspond with major edits that he's made. And at the end of the draft, those numbers come back and turn into a list of what he edited and why he edited I can never stop saying that word. It just goes on for 15 minutes. The changes he made and why he made those changes. There you go. So I think that's absolutely fascinating. And I want you guys to read it just to see a way to edit papers, because we've been focusing a lot on the drafting process over the past semester. And I wanted you to kind of see it in work. I wanted you to see it in real work, in professional work, so that you can get kind of a better idea of how editing works, why editing works, why we do it. And again, this is very specific to Stephen King and his version of writing. But I think that it's a really interesting read, and I highly recommend the book in general if you're interested in the writing process. So please concentrate on the revision parts, and there will be some discussion questions there. So thank you so much for listening to my lectures, and I will see you guys later. Bye!